Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Shade
Shade
and
and
the
the
City.
City.
I'm your girl, Treese.
It's Nels.
And today we are here to do your fave and ours as well. It is 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days. We are on season 6, episode 12. And don't get me lying, I did have the name of the episode.
It's a Field of Dreams.
Oh, in the Field of Dreams, yes. So, Shade Squad, new viewers, welcome, welcome. If you have not already, please do us a favor, bless us and yourself, and hit that like button.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, let's just jump into it. It's a lot to get into. But I'm excited. So let's get into it and let's get shady. We start this off with Riley and Violet. Riley has decided to reach out to Violet after having his conversation with his tour guide and realizes that he could have handled things a little better. So he reached out to Violet to try and meet up in hopes that, they can work things out.
Did you notice that both of them said that they unblocked each other the same night? Ain't never one of y'all had, neither one, y'all didn't have each other blocked. Talking about, yeah, I unblocked her and reached out. And she's like, yeah, I unblocked him and he texted me. It just happened that way. The universe just aligned for you, huh?
I guess so. I mean, and when you have cameras rolling, unblock your phone, girl. This is part of your contract.
Not this part of your contract.
Yeah, we ain't got enough footage.
Oh my God, I can't with
you. We need y'all to argue a couple more times, and then y'all can do what y'all want to do. So basically, he's hoping they can work things out. Violet arrives, and Riley asks her how she's doing, and she lets him know she's not well at all. Okay, she's been sitting up in her room. Now, Violet thinks that he realizes things were his fault, but says that, this is his last chance. And he shows up with flowers for her. He was actually there before her for once. And, says that he's showing...
he was off to a good start.
Right. And says that, he's trying to show an offering of peace and olive branch. So Violet lets him know flowers can't make her forget what he's done. Okay. If you thought that this was a grand gesture, it was not. He apologizes for his actions and admits he embarrassed them both. Violet said, it's not that Tiffany asked her a question. It's the fact that he let her be interrogated like she was a criminal and he didn't protect her. And he admits that he should have protected her and he apologizes. I said, okay, Riley, you might get invited back to the cookout. She tells him since...
No, she was never invited to the cookout.
No. Well, maybe we'll extend an invite now.
No, she was invited to the cookout before him.
You stupid. No, so Violet basically doesn't believe that he's being sincere. He asked her if it's going to be a thing of he's wrong and she has no fault. And she's like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that just fires Violet up more. And she's like, no, this is all your fault. So he asks, how can we move forward? And she's like, well, basically, when you're asking me these questions, you have to remember that there's a language barrier. And so it would be helpful if you would write it down and translate, since I don't know English, so I can better understand. And I'm not gonna lie. It was like the last book she told when she was talking about the app and she lost the app in the phone. I said, Violet be on it, boy. It's like she be on her toes quick.
You know what? I know. Look, I knew it was eating him.
I see why he feels she's sketchy because she lies at the drop of a dime.
Look, I know he was like, girl, you ain't never had a problem understanding nothing I was saying before. Now all of a sudden, when I want to ask you some serious questions, it's a problem.
And then look, she clearly ain't got that part of a problem understanding because we'll get into it. But when she need to ask about some money, she understood real clear what was going on. She ain't need him to write nothing down. She ain't need to see no bank statements. No, she understood. Look, she knows the language of money. So
I think that's universal, truth.
Yeah, well, so basically, Riley doesn't really believe what Violet is saying. about not understanding his questions and thinks it's an excuse, like we said, but is willing to go along with it to keep the peace. So she tells him that she invites him out the next day, says, I want to go take you to the temple. And he says that he'll go with her. And he's trying to show Violet that he can be the partner that she's looking for. As Riley is preparing to go visit Violet's temple with her, and just hoping for no drama, because they really don't have time on their side at this point. Violet is even impressed when she sees him, and he comes out in a traditional garb. I said, okay, Riley, she picked a decent color for you. Mm-hmm. Now, Violet says that she's there to pray for some peace after their long, exhausting fight. Riley admits that he feels that peace in the temple and shares that he prayed not to hurt anyone with his words or decisions. And Violet says she prayed for her family and for them. I said, or did you pray that he'll bring you to America and that he'll bring your family? Was that your prayer? I don't think
she really pressed to go to America.
Mm-hmm. So Violet says that she thought they were broken up forever, but thought she'd give it another shot in hopes they could be happy. However, there is an issue that she has, and she is afraid to discuss with him, which I really didn't understand. I was like, I guess this is going to be something that comes out later. But as we all know, Violet is hiding something. I was trying to give it a benefit of the doubt, but again, she continues to show us that, she's not very trustworthy. So she's full of it. So Violet takes Violet to a cute little kite flying spot, and he's really enjoying himself. He's never flown a kite before, apparently. Violet knows her and Riley still have a lot to discuss before he leaves. She tells him when she comes to the U.S., she can't work and is expecting his support. And then she asks him how much he has in his bank account and how he plans to support her and her daughters. And then he tells her, I think he told her he made like $100K or something like that.
What's crazy is he said in savings and investments, he will have 100,000. He didn't say what he does have.
That means if I withdraw my 401k or something early.
I didn't think it was clear. This is why. Well, actually, when you said that she was talking about like bank statements, I was like, I'm surprised she didn't ask for it.
Right. But I did notice that he said he makes broke look real good. I said, maybe to you, Violet might not feel that way when she's over there. But he reassures her that he will have the finances to take care of them. Since Violet wants to ask questions, so does Riley. So he asked her about the text to his father that she sent, and Violet tries to cut him off and says he keeps bringing up the past, and she's like, why, and he asks if she regrets it, and Violet says she doesn't see it as her fault, and no, she doesn't regret it. She said when she was texting his dad, she was upset and they were arguing, and she was mad, and that's just what it was. And I said, well, she 10 toes down. She gonna stand in her.
She remind me of a dude.
Yeah. She tells him she has nicknamed him King Kill Feelings. I said, and Riley is upset that Violet can't take accountability after he did for the situation with Tiffany. And I will say, for the first time this season, I am actually on Riley's side this episode. Violet is it is her way or the highway, but at the end of the day, what I will say, I can't be mad at it. Violet has not faltered on that. She has not changed. She's been that way, and he still continues to pursue.
I feel like when she introduced herself, she said that.
Right. So I just feel like if he wants to be with her and he's going to continue to pursue her, then she's not changing.
These two, they are just weird. Okay. They're literally clipping the inside of each other's nostrils with the clippers. This is how they started off the episode, y'all. I don't know. So Jasmine feels like they're in so much more of a better place. And Gino says, with the big breakthrough this weekend, basically he feels like they're in a better place. She's taken accountability for her actions and was even open about her insecurities. And for Jasmine, it took a turn for the better when the sex was better. She's like, look, you came for me, so we're good. That's all it takes. And he says in a relationship, the relationship outside the bedroom impacts the relationship inside the bedroom. So he feels more hopeful for their future, and that it'll continue to get better. So they decide to go for a walk, and he decides to bring up the fact that she looks pregnant. He clearly ain't. He reminds me of like 40-year-old virgin or something, because like he's like just as bad as Nico.
Oh yeah.
You don't say that ever.
But I think he thought it would be cute because he thinks the idea of her being pregnant is cute.
You don't say she looked pregnant now. When she looked fit as hell.
That's
and
true.
Basically he wants to talk about their future as far as having kids. He said it would it really wouldn't make a difference, if she was knocked up now, because she's close to being approved to go to the US. Now she says she likes the idea of having a baby, but in reality, she has kids and she knows it takes a lot. She said that it's a beautiful experience, but she doesn't know if their relationship is strong enough. And it can only make things worse. Now, he said he's confused because previously she told him that she wanted a baby. And he's given the energy that this is basically a deal breaker for him. So she said at this stage of her life, are they even going to be good parents? They're getting older. He's about to retire. And he was like, okay, that just means I'll be able to help you more. Now, she said even with the kids she has now, she gets a lot of support from her family. And she don't really know if she can handle it on her own in the US. He lets her know, you are not going to be on your own. I'm going to be there. My family's going to be there. And she feels like she really can't rely on his family, especially since they don't like her. She says she does believe Gino deserves kids of his own, but she doesn't know if she will ever be prepared to give it to him. Now, she asked him if she told him she didn't want a baby, would he stay with her? Will he, still marry her? Will he be happy? And he said that he was like, I told you from the get-go, this is what I want. I want a baby.
Right.
And how am I supposed to be happy? So he's like, why did you wait until now to say something? She was like, sorry, you weren't even ejaculating before. I didn't have nothing to worry about. And basically she's like, and all of a sudden you can. So, she lets him know that she also is because she was afraid of him walking away from her and, expressing her concerns involving that. And he basically said like he would never leave her. And he just thought that they were on the same page. And now he's, a little emotional. He's feeling some type of way that they may not be. She don't want to have your babies, sir. She don't want to have your little big head babies.
Well, I can respect her for saying, I already got 2 kids that are older that I'm still not really taking care of. So
yeah, when she said that, I was like, that's huge.
That's huge. Yeah, because she already knows she's not taking care of the other kids. So now, David and Sheila. David is making a strange humming noise. And Amy is like, did you ever ask him why he does that? So apparently Sheila said that she had mentioned it before, and he doesn't even realize that he's making the noise. So she said she didn't even really realize it was coming from him until they met. I think she thought maybe it was a phone or something in the background.
Yeah, because when she asked him about it, he was like, what are you talking about?
Right. So production asks David, and he says that he knows, but is not aware that he's doing it because he can't hear.
I think it's so... I get that,
but like, then he said something about he can feel it. So I was like, so you can feel when you're doing.
So that's what I was about to say. I don't remember seeing that part, but I was thinking to myself, I was like, if I make a humming noise, I can feel it. I can feel it. So I was like, can't you feel it? But I didn't even realize that he said that he can feel it.
Yeah. So Sheila and David are taking John Real out to the beach. Sheila's concerned that David can't support them and that John Real might not really have any connection with him. So she says David hasn't spent much time with him, and she thinks that, John Real may think he's strange because he's deaf. Sheila tells David she wants him to try and communicate somehow. He doesn't know, really what to ask him. And David asks what sports he likes. And John Real, I think, tells him like, football, basketball, or soccer or something like that. And after that, he really ain't got much to ask the little boy. So, it's kind of awkward. Then I thought it was super, super cute. So David's way of kind of pulling him in and engaging with him was playing a little cute hand game. And I was like, oh, that's really cute. And then they started to thumb wrestle. And I was like, okay. And David says that, you know, he really actually, he was like, he really actually wants to be a father. And he said that, you know, I guess that's how he interacted with his father, because that's the only way that he could, because I don't know if his parents signed either. But, you know, he wants to be able to form a bond with him. And so they have an even better time when they get to the beach, which I thought
it was cute. Even John Real after that said that he wants to learn sign now.
Right. He wants to learn sign language so they can actually have, you know, talk a little and engage a little bit more. So I thought that was super dope. Now, after the beach, they sit down for a meal. Sheila asked John Real if he enjoyed his time with David, and he said that he did. And then Sheila explains that he doesn't spend much time with his dad and that basically he left him. And I was like, so you just gonna remind the little boy while he's sitting right here that his daddy ain't shit and he left him? Like he ain't heard enough. I'm just saying. So David wants the three of them to bond more. Sheila says John Real is important to her. And you know, so, oh yeah, and David does want to step up and, you know, step in his life as a father figure. So he says that, you know, John Real completes their family. And he asked John Real if he'd like to move to America. And he's like, nope, nope, nope. Nope, have no interest. He doesn't want to because obviously he'll miss his family and his friends. And David tries to tell him that he'll have a good time and he'll be able to learn English and, you know, play sports. And John Real just looks at like that don't really interest him. Sheila's hopeful that he change his mind because, you know, she does love David. And so Sheila, and you know, David is like, my parents sent me away to this school and and you know, and I had to be brave, and I just hope that John Real is brave as well. But Sheila is also worried because she know David really ain't got the money to provide for her and John Real like that. And she's like, well, how many bedrooms do you have? And he's like, well, I only got one right now, but if we, you know, y'all move, I can get another one. And so, and she's like, but how you gonna get the money? And then one thing I can respect David for, he said, you let me worry about, that's my responsibility. I said, I'm not gonna say what I want to say, but shout out to David for doing more than most men who ain't got no disabilities. Okay. Now we go to Meisha.
Nico and Meisha. So Nico said that he realized that, you know, he doesn't want to lose the relationship that he has with Meisha. So he's gonna do whatever it takes to make it work.
She's a glutton for punishment.
So he took her to the beach to go fishing. He said Lord Jesus was a fisherman himself, okay? And he's constantly, over the last 7 years, told her how much he fished and how much he catch. So today's the day to show her.
You know what? I would think if he would fish all day, he would sell it at least to make some money, since he ain't, you know, really working or doing nothing. And ain't making no money off all the hits he get on his website. I figured the least he could do was go sell the fish that I'm just saying.
He'd probably give it away like the Lord Jesus did.
Okay.
So it's hilarious that Meisha thinks that it's easy. She's like, you just stick the line in there. You know, when the fish get on there, he's like, okay, you think it's so easy? Pull your pole out. Let's see what you got on there. Her whole bait is gone. She's like, where the hell did it go? He like, the little fish ate it.
Right.
Okay? You didn't feel not a damn thing when the was on your pole eating your bait. So then she starts talking shit,
I don't think I would want to fish with her either. No, she just, I mean, I feel bad. Like when I was watching her, I was like, is that how I am when somebody is trying to teach me something? No.
Yes, yes, it is. Absolutely.
She was awful.
Show him that scene and ask him.
No, that is awful. She was very
uncoachable. So then she starts talking shit, acting like she know what she doing. And she's like, I'll figure it out. I got this. And then damn near fell in the water.
Things like that don't happen. I wouldn't have been, that was a whole ocean. I wouldn't have been out there. What did I tell you? I am a Pisces. I respect my element.
Girl, you love the water.
I do, but I respect it. I know it'll take you out.
Well, it was all fun and games until he noticed that she was bleeding. Okay, she got cut up on her legs. He's like, no, fishing is done. We are done with this. We got to, she's like, no, I'm good. He's like, no. We're done. We need to go
I'm
get some
good. He
candy.
said,
Okay.
I will never do this again.
The
He
end
said
of
this
the
was not
world has
relaxing.
come.
It wasn't enjoyable.
He said this is his first time taking a woman fishing. Okay. And it was awful. He was like, she didn't want to listen. He was like, this is the Mediterranean Sea, not some lake in Minnesota.
This is not Lake Minnetonka.
Right? He said, this is my first and last time taking her fishing with me. They went to go sit down on the sand. She wants to talk about how excited she is to meet, his brothers and his mom. And he told her that he's nervous, hell, for her to meet his mom.
He's not excited.
He's mainly concerned of what his mom will think of her and suggest, that they not get married. So he said, you won't understand it because basically she'll be speaking in Arabic. So if she's talking to you, you'll have no idea what the hell is going on. But he does reassure her that he'll let her know what she's saying because he don't want to leave her out of anything. And, he doesn't want to hide anything from her, but he is concerned that it'll hurt her feelings. So he said when he finally does introduce Meisha to his mom, it's going to be like an atomic bomb. And he knows that that's why, he's been hiding her for the past 7 years. But he knows how important family is to her, but he is still worried about how it's going to go. He says he really doesn't even know how he's going to tell his family because he doesn't want them to talk, about her, like not in a nice way or, just say mean things about her. But she's like, you know what? She ain't about to hide who she is.
No.
She said, tomorrow, I hope you can be as proud of me as I am of myself. And he said, yeah, boo, absolutely. I'm not ashamed. I'm proud of you. But it's a cultural thing. And it's mainly for her protection. She says she don't need to be protected. Okay. And says, you're the one that decided not to share. And he said that he decided not to share to protect her. Okay. Because he knew that they wasn't going to like her.
Well, there's that.
So they're both basically like, we'll see what tomorrow holds. So Tamisha, why I just gave her a whole name?
Right, you damn sure did.
I call her Tamisha. My God, Meisha. I think I put tomorrow and Meisha together. Goodness. Okay, so Meisha's getting ready to meet Nico's family. He told her get dressed. It's like you going to church. But as per usual, she's taking forever. He's just nervous as hell. He's ready to get out the door. He's like, I want to get this done and over with. And he's like, you sure? Like, you're not going to be, you're not going to be upset if my mom is rude with you. And she's like, I can't do nothing to change that. I'm going to be fine. You know what I mean?
So, she said to that old lady, tell her, get this harlot out my house.
He knows 100% that this is who he wants to marry, but says that it'll be hard, if they don't accept her. So they get to his house. Nadia, Nico's mom, said that, Nico has never brought a girl home. So she's really surprised that he brought Meisha.
And don't know why she's here.
She don't know why she's there. But she's like, she's cute and friendly. So Meisha wants Nico to sit down so that he can translate. And he's like, y'all need to talk that much. And she's like, can you at least introduce who I am? And he's like, his mama got up. She's like, I'm tired of standing in this girl's face. So I'm gonna go finish doing my great
right.
Okay, I ain't got time for this. So then the brothers, Andy and Mickey, finally arrive. Nico says, right now his family's super nice because they're Middle Eastern and they're, hospitable. But as soon as he lets them know who she is to him, it's gonna go downhill from there. So they sit down for a meal and he says, Andy is like, tell me a little bit about yourself, because I don't know anything about you. And she suggests that Nico tell him because she wants him to speak Arabic so that the mother will understand. And he's like, yeah, I ain't doing it. She like, why are you acting like this? He's like, I don't want to.
Because I want them in my business.
And he's like, He was like, this is who I am. I ain't doing it. I thought she was going to do anything to make it work, boo. What happened? What had happened?
That's what he had said.
That's what he had said.
Now we get over to
your favorite.
This child. Nah, it ain't my favorite. I like Dempsey. I can't stand this clingy girl. So Dempsey is not feeling Statler after what she learned about her still fraternizing with her ex. Dempsey leaves for work and says that she's just not, basically in a good headspace after everything. Statler is still confused why Dempsey would think they're rushing things, and they've been together for months.
I was like, and that ain't rushing?
She doesn't understand why Dempsey would be so upset and says that, it was nothing between her and her ex. So she calls Natalie and tries to explain, that, and I told her I loved her and, everything was great. And then I told her about the ex and then went left. And then
I was love bombing.
Right. And then I told her I wanted to move in. So Natalie tells her that, telling her you love her, then telling her you want to move in versus asking was a lot. And then Statler then brings up, and then her friend suggests that maybe she made her feel she was just one of many. Oh, shit. Something got caught in my throat, sorry. So Statler says there is absolutely nothing going on with her ex. She tells her, and Natalie tells her to enjoy the moment and put, the future stuff on the back burner. But Statler's ready to move forward. She doesn't want to waste any time. And basically Natalie tells her, but you might be scaring her. Like, for real, you're doing a lot. So when Dempsey returns home from work, Statler has been...
I ain't gonna lie, I understand why the other girl broke up with her. As soon as she got back, I'd have blocked her ass.
Right. So Dempsey returns from work and Statler's been on home all day worried Dempsey's gonna break up with her. It's given, I don't know, a little fatal, it's just
first of all, can you make plans to move here? Like, what are you gonna do for work? Like, what is the plan? You can't just
to sit up under me and have me love you.
Like, not even sit up under me, because I'm gonna be at work.
But that's what I'm saying. I think that's what Dempsey was saying, was like, I think she thinks, because we're in love, like it's a fairy tale. So basically Dempsey don't break up with her, thank God. But Dempsey lets her know that she's upset about what happened last night. And brings up her plan on how, and then you talking about moving in with me, and I just think you're doing too much. And Statler's like, but it's been 7 months. 7 whole months. What are we doing? So Dempsey thinks that they need time to, both go back home, go to their separate corners after this and really reflect. And Statler's like, but why would we do that? If we're going to be together, why are we separating? And I'm like, girl, if you don't want to pay your rent, just say that.
That's what it's giving.
Just say that. So basically, yeah, Dempsey's like, I'm not going anywhere. And as Statler says, she doesn't want her time wasted. So I'm like, so now you're going to try to guilt trip her and pressure her into letting you move in? That's weird. And then Dempsey tells her that relationships should be a gradual thing. And Statler brings up that, again, this has been 7 months. And Dempsey says, yeah, and in 4 days, I learned you were arranging to meet up with your ex. I said, well, Dempsey, the girl has points. Dempsey's very level-headed. I like her. So Statler says she didn't arrange that. It was just talked about. It didn't happen. She tries to reassure her that she's, willing to give up everything for her. And she doesn't want to go back to America. And then Dempsey, like Nell said, block her. And she can't get in touch with her no more.
Yeah, I would have waited. I understand why the girl waited till she went home, because Statler seemed a little erratic. You don't know how she gonna react. So yeah, girl, bye. I love you too.
Like I said, the clinginess.
Get on that plane miles away. Yeah, we ain't.
And then she explains to Dempsey that she has a complex basically because she was adopted.
I thought this was so manipulative.
And I'm not gonna lie, I feel bad because I understand her situation and it is unfortunate, but I knew why she was doing it. And
to me, it would have been too much.
I didn't feel bad for her.
With this, plus the situation the night before I already felt like she was doing all of that just so she can butter her up to, tell her she wants to move in. It would have been too much for me. That's your personality. You're just manipulative. It would have been a no for me.
I hear you. So, but yeah, she's just like, and I have this thing, nobody ever loved me, and I just want someone to love me unconditionally. And, Statler, like I said, Statler realizes that Dempsey wants real love and, but also thinks that she wants an instant fairy tale. And Dempsey says, I ain't about to let you rush me into anything just because you about to sit here and try to manipulate me. So
did you
they
notice
agree.
while she was crying, she like kind of looked over at Dempsey like to see if it was working. She's like, girl, can I give you a hug? What else you want me to do?
Oh, like Cleo. So
she actually had real tears. Leave Cleo alone.
I didn't see him.
She did. She had not coming down her nose.
So they agree to take one day at a time. And you know, she tells her she doesn't want to change anything. Statler feels like, you know, you should be leading with your heart, not your brain. And even still, and this is the biggest red flag. We all just heard Dempsey tell her numerous times, the answer is no. Mm-hmm. And she said, I still hope somehow she changes her mind before I leave. If that ain't crazy, I don't know what is. Dempsey, run. Go, okay?
Might, but she gonna have to wait till that girl get on a flight.
Right. Because she gonna find you. She gonna find you.
Now, Cleo and Christian. So they are still having a little tension from the night before. She said that she wants to believe that he never intended to hurt her, but she still has her guard up and she gonna keep it up. So they're going to meet with her friend Evelina to do an astrological I can't even say it.
All these friends.
Astrology reading. What do you mean all these friends?
Just did she ever go anywhere? Just to like go anywhere? It's like everywhere she go, it's like she knows somebody, gotta be a friend there, and they gotta be, I don't know, it's just a lot.
I'm actually surprised with all the friends she has, because she basically, from what I understood, is kind of like a hermit.
Well,
so the fact that she is so social, I mean, it has so many friends.
Well, I guess everybody needs somebody to talk to. Go ahead.
And yeah, this is not really something that Christian is looking forward to. Cleo said it's probably because you're Gemini and, you know, they're talked really bad about in astrology. Yeah. He said, you know, he was born on the same day as Donald Trump and he don't have the same personality type as him. We don't know that yet.
We don't know that.
We don't know that. And you do a very good impersonation. So we're not quite sure yet. So they go to meet Evelina. And, you know, they give her a little bit of history. And she says that she did a composite chart, which is, you know, their relationship chart. So she let them know that they're connected to each other, but they don't really understand why or what pulls them towards each other. She said they both value communication, but Christian lacks tact, sensitivity, and empathy. And Cleo is super sensitive, so this creates friction. And sometimes, you know, they can see each other as each other's enemies. And Christian said, well, that's kind of how you made me feel yesterday. Like I was your enemy, nigga, because you was acting like it. That's all I'm saying. And Evelina.
That irritated me that they just would not, like, I thought we were trying to move forward, and especially him. I don't know. I just felt like they kept trying to move forward, and every chance they got, they kept bringing up that damn fight they had the day before. And I was like, well, I guess so much for moving forward, because you damn sure keep going backwards.
Well, because they still woke up with tension. It's still on a, you know, it was only the night before. It's only a few hours ago. They still upset about it. So Evelina said that they have a lot to work on, and she's really not even sure if they're going to stay together, which made Cleo super upset and emotional, because she just thought about all the good times and all the great times that they had over the phone. And she doesn't know if she's even ready to deal with how things are going to work out, how things are going to go if it doesn't work out between the two, because of these problems that they're having. And unlike what Tree said, she was actually crying real tears. I did see tears, because initially I put in my notes, I was like, girl, this girl is crying and she ain't got no tears come down. But she did have tears. And literally I saw snot running down her nose. Like it was like the end of the world. It's the end of the world as we know
it. Well, I didn't think that, you know, I didn't think the emotional breakdown was needed. I just, you know, it seemed a little extra. He was looking at her like, "Which really?" But, you know, it is what it is.
I think it's because she, like she said, she takes this so serious and so personal. And to him, it's like, all we have to do is live our lives. Like this is not, the
Right.
defining, defining factor in our lives. So he's like, he probably hardly believes it. And this is like the end of the world for her.
Well, y'all, that was the episode, the latest episode of Before the 90 Days. If you have not already, Shade Squad, please, 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 please make sure that you hit that like button.
You comment.
You subscribe.
And you hit the notification bell.
And make sure that you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the IG. And yeah, y'all, make sure that you drop down in the comments. Let us know. Drop any suggestions for any shows that you would like to see us review. And yeah, we will catch you next week for another review of Before the 90 Days. And don't be surprised when you get the back-to-back, because, yeah, I'm already sitting on it. But yeah, love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. And we'll catch you next week. Bye-bye.
Good night.